Hi, welcome. We're glad that you've tuned in with Adventist Asia. You are watching a live stream of our Week of Prayer service here at the regional headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Cavite, Philippines. Our theme is Chosen for Mission. You're invited to share this stream with a friend, family, or co-worker that you think can be blessed from watching this content. Send them this link, or better yet, share your screen with someone nearest you. If you have a prayer request, comment below or chat with us. We would love to add you to our prayer list this week. The program has started. Let's jump in.
Thank you very much, ladies. Magandang umaga po. Salamat pagi. Good morning. Maayong buntag sa tanang kaigsuonan. Maray na aga po sa indogabo sa mga tugang. Aloha. Only I don't know how to say it in Chinese because Pastor Wang didn't give me the words how can I use it in Chinese. But anyway, did you say goodbye to Christine this morning? There's lots of damage on the roofing of this building. And the devastation is really big in southern Luzon, much more so, I guess, in the northern part of the country. But this morning, I would like to express our thankfulness, me and my wife, to the Division people for the wonderful accommodation. I should say it's a 10-star accommodation and the delicious food and the nice people that we meet every day and say, hi, good morning, how are you doing? I felt like in the United States of America. The topic this morning is the Great Commission. The Great Commission refers to the assignment Jesus gave his disciples shortly before his ascension, found in Matthew 28, verses 18 and 20. And this command with authority, this Great Commission command need to produce, or else it's going to be in vain. So, in every Adventist that has been baptized in the church, you and I have a mandate to go. The word go is a comprehensive word for me. There is an impact on it. There is a significant effect to an individual who believe the Great Commission from Jesus Christ. The next one here that I would like to share to you is a disciple is a follower of Jesus, someone who adopts his teachings, not teachings of other ideology, other people that get out from the church. No. The teaching is from Jesus Christ in life. Jesus commanded the disciples to make others disciples as they were. You can imagine these 11 disciples. They were not educated. They were fishermen. The fact the gospel writers, Matthew and John, is the only included in the 11 or 12 disciples. Mark, Dr. Luke, is the Gentiles. They were not included in the chosen disciples, but they were right there in the gospel. And you're included. Me, not just the first disciple. That's the reason why Paul wrote 13 books in the New Testament. He was a disciple to the Gentiles. You knew that. After he was converted, he went to Africa to learn more, according to the record. Because he was a rabbi, he was a lawyer, he can memorize the Torah. But how is it in just one click, he reversed his belief? No longer in the Old Testament. It's all about Jesus Christ. And he made more disciples. He is a disciple maker, brethren. And Jesus said, "You shall be witnesses to me in the Philippines, in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in Vietnam, in Laos, in the killing field of Cambodia, in Sri Lanka, and every place of this division. We are the witnesses for Christ. In your surrounding, where you live, where you work. Once Dr. Irene Gavin spoke to our church in San Pablo City. She said, our ladies in the division, though they don't have the ability to speak, they invited their friends for Bible studies. Hey, what's up? Ladies here doing and following the Great Commission. That's wonderful. But you know the song that we sang? It will start first. To whom? Start first to me and to you. And then the gospel will go to all around the globe. That's Mrs. White said in her vision. Most of you went to the Philippine Publishing House. We went there yesterday, and somebody guided us in touring the sophisticated, I should say, modern PPH. I love publishing because I was converted, like what I said the other morning, and the publishing ministry. I have been shaped and molded and grown spiritually in the publishing ministry. So I like to see the new one, and we went there. And I noticed that there is a book that published here, My Bible Treasures. Dr. Arcelia Rosario is the author of this book. But Albert J. Mosquera is our nephew, because his mom is the sisters of my 56 years wife. We have been kulitan in Filipino for the last 56 years. And so I said, oh, this is my nephew. And, the mother of this guy is a former literature evangelist. And he was also an historian colporteur. And I said, why did you do this? Right now, he's working in Disneyland. He's the lead artist of Disneyland in California. But he was a producer of our AUP. And I said, well, you're going to be probably rich and millionaire because you are part of this book. And he said, no, this is my contribution to the publishing ministry. And it's wonderful. Gospel around the world. People have been influenced of many things. When we were in Hawaii, we arrived there without any relatives. I have been an head elder for a few years. Like I had mentioned to you the other day that we have more than 5,000 members in Honolulu Central Seventh-day Adventists with different ethnic group. And we are more than 30 elders representing the different nationalities. One time during our board meeting, somebody donated to the church more than $10 million, unknown. The only statement they give us is like this. During the early days when I was a small girl, Mrs. White going to Australia, she always stopped over here in Honolulu. And they stayed in my grandmother's house. While I was a small girl, I observed that this lady is a very religious woman. I can trace the character of Jesus Christ in her. And so, the girl was become, it's not a grandmother because she didn't marry. He didn't get married. He was single. And I said, I give this because I was influenced when I was small by Mrs. White. And that was great. And that is part of the Great Commission. Your influence. You know, one time I was traveling in Reno, Nevada, going to Northern California. I stopped in one of our institutions there in Northern California, the Weimar Institute, and somebody come to me and said, Pastor, did you recognize me? I said, no. Who are you? And he told me the story. He said, when you were assigned in San Jose Occidental, Mindoro, and San Jose Occidental, Mindoro is the biggest church, membership-wise, of the South Central Circumference. And I was a small lad. And you were there, and I observed your enthusiasm, being a literature evangelist. You know, we are very poor, among the poorest, because my dad went away, and my mom is a single mother, supporting us. We live in shanty, you know, the roof is cardboard. My life and my wife, my mother livelihood is just buying small vegetables and fish. And every day is walking in the street. She's walking in the street and she said, "Oh, bilhin na kayo ng isda. I want to buy vegetable and fish." That is they are very poor, and he went to our school without sandals. And he said, I was challenged because of your enthusiasm. You know, I said, I don't know about it. And so what happened? And the guy said, I decided to myself that after I finish my elementary education, I'm going to get out from this house. I'm going to leave my parents. I'm going to go somewhere in Mountain View. I'm going to study high school, self-supporting, in college. And he finished the education. And he married to a lady who is an accountant. And Pastor Nemuel, they were a missionary in Africa for 20 years. And then when I went to Weimar Institute in Northern California, that's the time he said, why are you here? I asked him, after coming from Africa. And he said, well, we signed a new contract here to work in Weimar Institute. And you know what? After many years, we retired. We returned back to the Philippines, and we visited the CPAC, the Central Philippine Adventist College. And the wife became a president of the college in Bacolod. They were there. They have a house of the adjacent of the campus. And because I never know that I influenced this boy when he was small. You see, witnessing is not only talking and speaking. Your influence, your smile, your friendliness will give a big impact, a significant effect to the people whom you will meet every day in your life. Mrs. White went to Australia. You know that? And in the year 1905, they went to the Philippines. Going to General Conference session, and he noticed that the Philippines is ripe for evangelism. And so they sent Caldwell, Book, and then Elder Erwin, selling some of the literature. Matt Elhani distributed the literature for the GI teachers in the Philippines, in Manila. And there was a big conversion. Pastor Isaac Enriquez, Bibiano Panis. Anyway, Bibiano Panis was backslide. But he went to San Pablo City and conducted a crusade, and they baptized 219. During this time, this new pioneer here in the Philippines, they converted Felix Manalo, the founder of the Iglesia de Cristo. In 1931, South Central Luzon Conference were organized. People, we are only 1% of the world population. 1%. The Adventist people, probably we are now more than 25 million, whatever, around the world, but we are only representing 1% to 6 to 7 billion population of the world. Small. But then we won't stop, because there is a mandate for us to preach the gospel around the world. I have only for 10 minutes. Now, I remember when we were here in the Philippines, before we moved to Hawaii, I worked here for 26 years, in South Central Luzon Conference particularly. Traveling is hard. From island to island, imagine from Lucena City all the way down to Bundok Peninsula nearby Visayan. It's only one district pastor. From Lucena to Pulillo Island, we call it Poland, one pastor. Mindoro Oriental, one pastor. Occidental, one pastor. Batangas, 2 pastors. It's really hard for the worker, for the pioneers. But you know why? You know what? Those pioneers paved the way for you and me, or for the young generation. That's the reason why you preach the gospel smoothly, because those people has been there to pave the way for you. Imagine we have the most beautiful division office in the world. We have this beautiful structure here that, like what I said a while ago, the guest room is like a 10-star and not 5-star. It's 10-star. I doubled it. It's nice, wonderful. You see how the work grew. from generation to generation. Because there is a mandate. Because you are a choosing people. The mandate is you have to go. When the Lord say go, and you will say, I will go, you didn't go yet. You're still here. You have to move. You have to move. Get out from your comfort zone. Because that is the mandate. Wonderful that we belong to the people of God, wherein we are a part of the gospel that goes all over the world. Mrs. White, she urged her husband to publish a new small pamphlet, The Present Truth. And Mrs. White, let it be small from the very beginning, but at the end, during that, when you publish that, the people will support you, and later on it will circle the world with light. We can only do that because you and me. It starts with us. We are to make disciples among those we live, work, interact with. Our Christ-like life is a witness to others. You know this church? This is the Banaba Seventh-day Adventist Church in Batangas City. You know the beginning of this? Pastor Cordero. You know Pastor Cordero? The pastor of Moreno Hills in Loma Linda. His grandfather, you know, in Batangas province, the grandfather, we called him Mamay. Instead of Lolo, Mamay. His grandfather is Mamay Ado. The name is Ado. I don't know the complete name, but we just called him Mamay Ado. Their livelihood is blacksmith. Blacksmith. Machete, axes, shekel. Every Wednesday or Thursday, they went to different town in Batangas City, and they put a small cloth along the street side and the market side, and they put all the product there. And Mamay Ado, every time there's a customer want to buy his product, he always asks the customer a big question like this: are you ready to die? Don't you know that Christ is coming in? And the customer, oh, we don't know that. Oh, well, I'm not ready to die. I was scared because there's a machete there, you know. And Mamay Ado, wait, before you buy my product, I'm going to show you how. So, Mamay Ado got the Bible, always, beside him. The Bible is thin like this. And it became thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. You know what? Because every time Mamay Ado give the Bible study, it goes like this. There's a lot of saliva here. Become thicker and thicker. And you know what? One of the customer is the old Abakan. You know, the brethren there is Abakan, the pioneer in the church. And Mamay Ado, every Sunday, he walked from the highway going to the barangay road and see this family of Abakan to give Bible study. And they were converted. Look at that. And they have a complete school, elementary school. Because of this small old man who always remember the Great Commission to go, the mandate of the Lord to spread the gospel. It doesn't matter if he's an old man. He died already. But Not only producing of this kind of result like this, but some of his grandson is in the ministry and granddaughter is in the ministry. The influence, that's part of the commission, people. Now, I have only 7 minutes to go. What did Paul say about? I'm going to skip the other one. It's the same story. Disciples are to learn, observe all of Jesus' teachings. Baptism publicly symbolizes their commitment to follow Jesus. Jesus assured the disciples and us that he would be with us as we carry out the Great Commission, giving us his authority and power. So the 11 disciples, uneducated, they were scared when Jesus Christ was put to death. They ran everywhere. They were scared. How could we proclaim the everlasting gospel? But the Lord said, go. I give you authority and power. And so what Paul did, Paul said, in the ministry, I was hungry. I was beaten. I was capsized. I was beat by the snake. It's a lot of, did you experience that yet? No. No. Well, I experienced capsized twice in Polillo and Mindoro, but not like Paul. But if you read the paraphrase of this translation, it's summed up like that. I am always knocked down, but never knocked out. Some people quit. No, the quitter never wins. 2025, according to Elder Kaderma, the Pennsylvania Conference is coming here. And they will stay here in your beautiful guest houses, ghost rooms. Particularly, they're going to evangelize the South Central Zone Conference. The president's already ready. I talked to him the other day and said, we prepared 40 satellites for these Pennsylvania ministers coming in. When we were in Honolulu, every year we conducted an evangelism. We spent $50,000. At the end, the conclusion of the crusade, we only baptized 4, 5, or 6. And those are biological. It's not from outside the church. But we spent a lot of money. 50,000 here in the Philippines. 6%, no. It will be probably more than hundreds of souls will be baptized on that 2.5 billion money. See? You know why coming here, the evangelists from America? Because they know that the harvest is ready. Choosing people, preparing people for the harvest. And it won't happen if you and me will not participate in the Great Commission of God. Three minutes. The gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world, and then the end will come. The Great Commission is vital for Jesus' return. So Timothy said, preach the word, be prepared in season and out of season. Correct, rebuke, encourage, with great patience and careful instruction. Paraphrase translation said, don't lose your sense of urgency. The calling is urgent. This is my appeal to you, people. Great Controversy, 606. It says here, as the time comes for it, the third angel's messages, the third angel message, to be given with greatest power, the Lord will work through humble instruments, leading the minds of those who consecrate themselves to His service. The laborers will be qualified rather by the unction of His Spirit than by the training of literary institutions. Men by faith and prayer will be constrained to go forth with holy zeal, declaring the words which God gives them. People, that is us. We are looking forward in the future time that all of us will be in the kingdom of God. And with our souls that we labored for, we will stay with God in the ceaseless ages of eternity. This is my prayer.
I hope you found encouragement through today's stream. Let us know in the comments what you appreciate most from today's topic. And please don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Thank you for watching Adventist Asia.
Thank you for joining us on Adventist Asia, the official multimedia outlet of the Southern Asia Pacific Division headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. We hope you were inspired by this content. We'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts. If you have any prayer requests or would like to ask for Bible studies, don't hesitate to reach out to us today. Remember to share our content with your friends and family on all your social media platforms. Your support helps us spread hope and a positive life to more people. Until next time, stay blessed and keep spreading the love and message of Jesus.